Hello, ladies, gents, and misunderstood agents of peace. We return to the daily challenge of Spelunky. It is the 25th of June. Heat continues to abrade my thoughts and render me into a unthinking, melting pool of flesh. Actually, no, this week has been just raining all week, but, you know, it's the theme of the summer, and it's like a narrative. I have an epic saga going on over here about whining about the heat. So I'm going to continue doing it, being that odd man out that does not enjoy. It's something that has puzzled me for my entire life. It's like, what do these people find enjoyable about the heat? I just don't understand it. I don't understand. It's almost like different humans have a completely different perspective and enjoy different things. I don't think I endorse that. I think everybody should feel the exact same way that I do and enjoy the exact same things that I enjoy, and everybody else is just a fucking weirdo. And I apologize for dropping that F-bomb at the very beginning of the video, but it just warrants it. It just totally warrants that kind of really strong feeling. And I'm okay with having dropped such a thing. It is not like I need to justify it. This is my freaking playground, and you can take it or leave it, damn it. And this is, please take it, don't leave. I appreciate you. Give me this chest and key, and have a fantastic, beautiful time getting the easiest chest and key spawn of all time. Anyway, it's 2020, the year of love. Nothing bad ever happens in 2020, so obviously this daily challenge is going to be amazing. It's going to be the most epic adventure that we have ever encountered in the entirety of the moon. That is just the amount of incredible shenanigans going to happen here. I'm a little concerned, ain't gonna lie, I'm a little concerned about having spring shoes. This is going to really screw over the jump here. So it's like, do I even want to kill this guy for a cape? That's it. I'm getting a cape out of this. I don't want to use a bomb because, you know, resources are tight. Resources are tight. I could maybe just take it and run out. Man, this dilemma is absolutely atrocious. Wish I had kept the damsel. That would solve all my problems right now. Do I dare? Nah, he'll just murder me if I do that. I mean, I could always jump. You know what? I'm willing to spin a rope. I'll do something like this. Please go back. Whoa! You indeed should not trust me, sir. He just give me those bombs and ropes, and immediately he got himself spiked. An exciting moment for everybody involved. I hope that you appreciated the insane amount of gumption that took. It was beautiful. And we will now carry on our regularly scheduled daily challenge. Feeling like Ghosting Boy today. I have several topics of discussion that we can engage on. I have no want whatsoever for brand new topics to come up with, because, you know, the last daily challenge, all I did was just talk about cooking for 20 minutes and then I died. So, oh well, I'm choosing the wrong path here. I'm choosing the wrong path. Holy crap. How was that skeleton animated? Did I not walk next to it? I must not have. This is the dead shopkeeper. I guess I could throw him to Callie's embrace, but screw it. We're done here. Moving on to our next level and more wonderful, fantastic things to do. So all the audio levels. Yeah, all the audio levels are good. Everything's great. Life is grand. We will succeed where we failed before. It was just a fluke. Simple fluke of being an idiot in the daily challenge before. I just got whittled down, right? It was like being eaten by a piranha. It was quite pathetic, to be honest with you. I want to see. It's just a gold pile. It's like, there is incentive to go in there. There is 2 gems in the belly of that beast. But for the time being, we're just going to move on leave behind. And we'll see. We'll judge this level worthy or not based on whatever else happens. Give me some bombs. Bombs of 3. That is okay. I'm going to steal them from your cold, actually still warm hands. I would appreciate it if you go back into your shop and look at the wall, just like all the victims during the uprising that I shot in the back of the neck. Please go and stare at the wall so I don't have to look at your face as the life force leaves your mortal coil. There you go. Wonderful. Vive la révolution. Oh jeez. I did not expect him. I did not expect him to be so damn close. Please? Please, sir? You are not on the ground, which means you will not turn around. I'm going to still do a shotgun jump just in case, because he might be touching the floor. Okay, good. Whee! You did. Fantastic. Just one more idiot to go. This is a very, very complex level. Deserves all of my effort and attention. Let's see. You are kind of a pain in the ass, aren't you, sir? My good sir. Thankfully, you'll have a couple billion ropes, so it's fun to come all the way back up here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. These 3 bombs shall be magical. Oh, what the? Disappointed. No, what the? Please take it. Nope. Oh man, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad right now. That was supposed to not go the way that it did. Oh boy, when it goes this thing. Oh, run it. Run, Paco. Get on the level. Son of a bitch. Oh, it's not the end of the world. It's just going to make it more of a pain in the butt. But we can fix it up. We can fix up that vault not getting ghosted now. It's going to have to spend more time. Wonder why that third bomb, like the second bomb, did not bust into the vault. It left 1 block, and then the third bomb got caught into it. Very annoying. Maybe some more bombs. I would appreciate that. You know what? I'm okay with finding some climbing gloves in there. And are these even ghostable? Debatable. I think they are. If I keep the ghost all the way up there, maybe. Yeah. Will you get it? Nope. Well, that sucks. This vault is going to be a nightmare. Maybe going all the way back to the top, I think. That will do it. That will do it. And we wanted to come back up here. Actually, no. No, we don't. It's not worth it, right? I mean, there's a... Oh, shit. You can't really get out of here for any other means than this. That ruby is also going to be annoying as hell. What is going on? Why is every single structure in front of me slightly too damn annoying? Yeah, we're not going to bust in there. I spend way too many bombs. Way too many bombs. Alright. This is gonna happen. Damn it, I'm going to get at least this consolation prize. Alright, okay, well, we're just going to get this piece of garbage all the way over here. And now, do hurry, Paco. And the fastest... Oh, there's no opening here, you absolute buffoon. Yeah, that's not gonna work. There's no way. I think it would have worked if I hadn't messed up. Yeah, it will definitely work. Just have patience. It's all good. I can't use another bomb to make it a shorter trek, but we'll make it work. It's okay. It's all right. It just takes a little bit of patience. Are you guys in a hurry? You're not in a hurry at all. I'm not a person that is normally in a hurry. I'm a guy. I wouldn't say I'm a parsimonious guy, but I don't normally get mad about wasting time. Actually, that's a complete fallacy. That's a complete untruth. I'm the complete opposite. If I am wasting time, I am just existentially destroyed. You know what? That is, in fact, another way we can get... Look, I worked extremely hard to get nothing so far. So, damn it, I'm going to get the stupid emerald. Goes into a freaking diamond. It's hard to put it in words because I think it's this way. When there are things out of my control that are making me waste time, I'm totally calm about it. It's like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? There's a traffic jam. What you gonna do? I'm not gonna get mad at it. Honk your horn at it, and maybe that gives you slight releases of dopamine that keeps you going. Nah, I'm very, very parsimonious. Somebody is a complete idiot in traffic. What you gonna do about it? You just drive defensively and deal with it. Of course, you get annoyed, but road raging ain't a thing for me. If it's something that I can control and I am wasting time with it just drives me off the wall. It's like, oh jeez, why do I do this to myself? It's like I never want to be anywhere that I don't want to be any longer than I have to. I get done with my work, I clock out, a single second spent there anymore that a single second spent at my workplace that I'm not getting paid for is a second that I resent greatly. Even if I am socializing, even if there's, you know, a conversation going on or some kind of thing that needs to get done, it feels just fundamentally wrong to be spending this microsecond in a place where I would rather not be. Much rather have my ass sitting on my computer chair or doing anything at all at home. Oh boy. You don't need to really drop down here. Let's go back up and properly explore it. I'm not endorsing going down there just yet. Let's throw all these filthy arachnids. I'm a little annoyed with all these monsters. Alright. Poor Major Stupid had to pay the price there of the level generation. Nothing to do with me. I needed to get to the crate. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Have some kind of compassion? Absolutely not. I do not compass for anybody. Yeah! Oh, there you go. I thought for sure I had time to get the hell out of there. But it did not work out the way I wanted it. Okay, let me just gather a whole bunch of money. Anyway, son of a bitch. I'm a patient man, is what I'm trying to say here. I'm a patient man who does not suffer self-imposed delays. What am I doing here? This is a bad idea. I've died in this situation before, by the way. I would like for you, to do that. And then not chase me, please. There you go. Oh. This would require more concentration that I was comfortable with. And of course I can't spend a bomb. Okay, down it goes. I wanted to continue going down, so we'll just bait it that way. There you go. Alright. Now I have managed to suffer enough wounds to, if I don't pass my 5+ save, we're going to lose the battle. What I was getting at, and this connects beautifully with the idiotic joke that I just made. Or reference, not even a joke, is it? It's just a reference. I am a very, very long time Warhammer collector. I thought for sure he would be there. That sucks. I felt liberal to spend my last 2 bombs. Yeah, get out of there. Get out of there. Go see your buddy and see if you can just murder each other. That would be fantastic. Already, huh? Too fast. I am not ready. I'm not prepared. I'm a very, very long time Warhammer collector. I am talking 2 decades. I think is the very, very first Slanesh Keeper of Secrets. No, that's not the Keeper. The Keeper of Secrets is the Zinj. It's been a while, okay? How's the... No, the Zinj is the Lord of Change. Look, I start in Spanish, so I don't know all the English words like I'm supposed to. But what I'm getting at, 20 years. I know that it's a rich man's hobby. I have established my socio-economical background several times before. I lived, I wouldn't say in riches, but it was a comfortable youth. I had want for only luxury, luxury items. Like, oh, daddy, I want the new computer. It's like, no, sorry, son, we can't. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. But he had it. He had the money to spend, but he chose not to because he wouldn't be wise. That is my financial situation. All while growing up, my father was a great provider for the family. We live in a comfortable house. We had one for no necessity whatsoever. All I wanted was, I want this game. I don't want to spend all that money on that. Let's pirate it. That was the spirit of it. So, for 20 years, I would spend I didn't have an allowance growing up. It was more like whatever leftover there was of money that you scrounge up as a kid. You can buy money through several different means. Some of them less legal than others. We need to get rid of this ghost. Talking about nonsense here. This ghost wants to eat my soul. I'm trying to build an incredible narrative here. Long story short, you come by money when you're a kid, and I would spend it on Warhammer figurines. And I did that for a good 10 years. It was a very Pyrrhic collection. My goodness, this guy. The ghost, though. The ghost, it makes it so much more complicated than it needs to be. I think we want to get it to the opposite corner of the level. Let's do that. The very first design, Keeper Secrets. That's not how old this collection is. So, I do have two big armies. What used to be just chaos. Now it's all divided in all kinds of stuff. I'm talking about Games Workshop Warhammer. That's a franchise that I think has percolated through gamer culture quite a lot. So I don't think I need to even explain anything about that, do I? Oh, well. There's a miscalculation there. Okay, well, it was two good shots. Unfortunately, they did not find their mark. We're going to try again. It's okay. Life is grand. He has an incredible, amazing price that I will not leave behind. So it's his life or mine. And later, Skaven, which are the Ratmen. Again, do I really need to explain the Warhammer mythos to all you fellas, all the grim dark stuff? I'm a fantasy guy, though. I never really got into Warhammer 40k. It was like, I wouldn't say lame. I thought it was cool. Just not something I wanted to play. And I am a very goal-oriented kind of individual. I don't collect things just because they're pretty. I want to collect things because I want to play with them. That is why I have such a wide arrangement of rubber dildos in my closet. Because if I am going to get something, I'm going to get some real good use out of them. So for many, many years, collected and painted this army. And it's good. 8 years ago, I decided I can't do it anymore. Not because of money, but because it's such a Welcome to Clan World, where we're going to do speedruns for the rest of the daily challenge. Look, I'm going to keep telling you about Warhammer because this is an incredible story that I must get off my chest. It's actually kind of a tepid, not that interesting story. I'm going to tell it anyway. That's what you come here for, right? It's not about the amazing Spelunky gameplay. There ain't no Spelunky gameplay here to impress. Only despair. Only despair against the stupidest obstacles. It's too time consuming. And I want to write a book. I want to do this YouTube thing. It's just too time consuming. Wasn't even doing YouTube at that point. I forget. I don't think I was. It was more like I want to concentrate on the one hobby. I'm going to improve my writing craft and all other hobbies will go. Sorry. Learning guitar. Sorry. Warhammer. Army. Painting. Actually, I still painted after I said I'm not going to play anymore. Because playing was... It took whole days, man. It was like too much, and I had to kind of like engineer my life around it. It was challenging. It was challenging to get battles going on. So I decided I'm just gonna stop. Oh boy, please don't murder me. Not sure where I need to be, but I don't think it's this corner of the world. At least we found the exit. So that happened, but I still collected because I liked it. Well, there's another ticket trap, barring the path, like literally making it impossible to progress. So not feeling too terrible about that one. I just spent a bomb, of course, but the principle remains that ticket trap was literally in my path to progress. So I immediately surrendered to it. That is my theme in my entire life. Like, the first obstacle is going to be the last because I give up immediately on every endeavor that I try to accomplish. And then Age of Sigmar happened. This does get a little bit deeper into the Warhammer lore. The short story would be, you know, as all ongoing games do, that they release updates and want you to buy more models and stuff like that. It gets updated now and then, and like the story continues, so you can buy the new models and that kind of deal. So it ended with the Endtimes. For a long time, it was actually kind of a meme in our. Why am I carrying this key still? In our gaming group, and I'm sure it was a meme in the internet in general, how Chaos always had all these prophecies, all the end time stuff, and they always fail in the end. There was all this doom and gloom, and it was unsurmountable. But then, of course, the forces of good won, because, you know, the forces of chaos winning would mean the world would be over, and there's no more Warhammer Fantasy. So, kind of a self-defeating prophecy there. Self-defeating prophecy if it comes to pass, because then the game world is over. So Age of Sigmar is basically Games Workshop saying, you know what is gonna happen? It happened. There you go. Chaos won. Just put me on my misery. This is a terrible speedrun. Actually, the time is not that bad. So I'm going to keep going and just kill myself immediately. That right. Yeah, wonderful. I don't know why I grabbed that idol. I don't know what the hell the story with that idol was. Let's not ever delve into the idol story. Let's continue talking about Age of Sigmar and how it completely destroyed my will to support Warhammer Fantasy ever again at the time. I was like, because what Age of Sigmar did was make it into Warhammer 40k in fantasy setting. It was all the square bases that I have painstakingly crafted. They became round. It was all individual models. I really like the system of having just units, and you put them in a little tray and you move your units around in the tray. It was one, very convenient. I really like the entire aesthetic of these are just big army regiments, big army units that are coming in and clashing against each other, as opposed to the Warhammer 40k approach where it's basically just skirmishes. Yeah, there's 40 models. That's still a skirmish in army context, you know. You could also call it was a skirmish in fantasy too, because even the big ass 10,000 point armies, they were still just 200, 300 models. Not impressive if you compare it to an actual army of people in the real life. But anyway, what I'm getting at is that it was a massive turnoff for me. I did not like that change, even though lore-wise, it was really interesting. It was like, you know what? The Endtimes did happen. Chaos did win. And the world is now destroyed. Age of Sigmar takes place millennia after the previous... Well, that scumbag managed to find a way to prevent me from murdering him. But he was so stupid that it gave me an out. Haha! Lore-wise, it was interesting, but mechanically, it just absolutely obliterated my interest in the game. I did not want to push one by one the models, even though I wasn't even playing anymore. And what really killed it was the fact that they did away with the point system. It was like, what are you people doing? Like, most of the fun of this game for me was actually doing math to craft the perfect point solution to my enemy's army, to, you know, squeeze out as much value as I could. Just casually stomp on this man's head. Just flex a little bit there. So that really, I did not enjoy it. And lastly, I did not really like the aesthetic. At the start of Age of Sigmar, I still think that the Sigmarites are just super duper lame. This, what is it, Storm Angels or something like that they're called? Do not endorse the aesthetic of that entire thing. But, you know, so I was like, put it all in a box. I don't really care anymore. Okay! I was so sad. I was pissed. Like a nerd. Raging at the world can be. I didn't write any angry post, but I should have. This guy's kind of a terrible impediment to my progress. How do you even deal with this? I guess the way that I am dealing with it. Please don't blow up. What a terrible level. Look, this is not a speedrun in any capacity anymore, but we're progressing through the game and being somewhat successful. So I'll keep going. I do have lots of bombs. That's what's going for myself right now. Let's do something like that. Oh boy, don't frog me. There you go. It all worked out. It's all good. Fast forward, what is it? 2-3 years since the Age of Sigmar inception, and I come across this channel, Sword and Steel. It's two ladies. Most of the time it's just one lady, but it's two ladies doing battle reports on Age of Sigmar. It's like, oh look, they actually have point-based armies. Those models look pretty cool. Mind the models, they never went down in quality, but what they have done through the years is get every army back into the game. When they first came out with Age of Sigmar, a lot of stuff became obsolete, but they have reintroduced all the old models, so none of the things that I have in my box are obsolete anymore. I can actually use them. I mean, the bases are still square. Not like I'm going to go play anytime soon. It's just, you know, the idea of being able to play it again. It's important to me. There you go. I could have definitely used Adam's health, but he was a sacrificial lamb there. And they're actually, what really got me interested was like, they're actually playing a point-based battle. It's a 1,000 point. Did they reintroduce that? I was completely disconnected from it. Everything's according to plan. Fantastic stuff. So I was like, oh, did they fix this freaking abortion of a game? And I can once more become enthusiastic. What is happening right now? Oh boy. Anubis, please explode. Whoa! Please let me go. Oh boy, this is just outrageous. Outrageous. The things that are happening in this run. So I looked into it again, went to the website. Oh, look, they have pictures. That skeleton killed me. pitch battles again, and you know, point based and all that stuff. Long story short, yeah, okay, I'll get the current Chaos Army book. See what's what. Thing is, of course, it's not Chaos Army anymore. Now there's like 5 different Chaos armies because it is Games Workshop and they have to nickel and dime everything. You know, with the Chaos Army, it admittedly it was quite the mess because they went so overboard with variety of models that at the time that I was playing it, the Chaos Army was like 3-4 times more variety. Oh shit! I wanted to shoot before that guy saw me, but he turned around like a pro. At the time that I was playing it, Chaos Army had like 4 times the amount of variety any other army had. It was pretty out of control, so it made sense when they later split it towards the end of the Endtimes timeline. They split it between Chaos Mortals, Chaos Beasts, and Chaos Demons. And that was a reasonable split. It was still an obvious split to make everything, you know. Now there's 3 armies, so you need to have every one of the books, and each book is $40. It's like, I'm not gonna spend that kind of cash. Stick with the Mortals, I guess, is what I did. Oh, my beautiful Chaos Knights. Men, those Chaos Warriors had a hell of a reputation. They never really won. I was always second place playing Warhammer. There was always somebody that was better than me, but I always placed a pretty solid second. So I guess I'm not complaining about it. Chaos Warriors, man, the most feared Warhammer unit of all time. Of all time, I tell you. Anyway, oh boy. Checked it out, man. Say what you will about the prices, about the scummy practices, about the nonsense, idiotic policies. Freaking gorgeous. That book is absolutely gorgeous. The art and the design and all the different pictures of the models and all that stuff, like a lot of real talent went into creating those absolutely beautiful books. So if you appreciate that type of deal, I would definitely recommend it. Of course, let's not mince words, it's a rich man's hobby. If you have money to spend on Warhammer, you ain't wanting for basic needs. That's a truth right there. Or you are a weird ludopath that just cannot. Actually, is ludopath the word? I don't think. Gaming addict that cannot stop themselves and just drive themselves into poverty through buying Games Workshop models. That would be like the saddest story of all time. The saddest, as in the most pathetic story of all time. I just couldn't stop buying Warhammer. My children starved because I needed another slaughtered beast. These paints. I started drinking them. I was so hungry. But for me, I have the caveat. Look, I have a 20-year-old collection. It's not like I suddenly spent son of a bitch. Suddenly spent $1,000 on a whim. That stuff in my closet right now, which is like 50% painted. I always liked assembling more than painting, so I would have them assembled and then just languish. But I don't know, the point that I was trying to make, beautiful stuff. Now I just need to find someone to play with. My wife's not into it. She really likes the models, and she's actually painted a few and stuff, but definitely not into the game itself. She just doesn't really have the mathy brain for it, and it's very, very interlocked rule sets. It's very rigid, not her type of thing. And I would argue, in fact, it is not something that appeals to women in general. Obviously, there are exceptions, but it's a very, very archetypical man's hobby. It just appeals to that man's drive of building things. sorry, we can just do something like this. Thing is, though, yeah, I was about to say, I don't want the climbing gloves. See if I can stump this guy. Well, I ended up with the climbing gloves. All good. Everything's fine. Life is fantastic. You think I would just give up? But why give up when I can delay my pain to when it actually really, really hurts? Actually got a hell run in our hands somehow. It's going to happen, don't worry about it. Building things. Obsessing over tiny details. Of course, the rule set, it's like a giant conglomeration of math. I really want that man. I want him. I want his... Just see if we can grab him. Oh, yeah. So I say... And in all my years of playing, not a single time did I see a female at the hobby store. Again, not saying if you're a woman you can't like it, not saying you're invalid for it. It's just a game that massively appeals to the male brain. So 100% understand, like I didn't have tried to like push her to play with me or else, or you know, silly things like that, guilt tripping or nothing. So I totally get it. I totally get it. And even with just dudes, it's a very limited appeal kind of thing. You have to be a special kind of nerd to be into the strict rule sets of Warhammer. They did try to casualize it a little bit, and I definitely endorse some of the measures that they took. It was a little too complicated. The rule set of classic Warhammer Fantasy, I think edition 8 and below. I forget the edition that was right before Age of Sigmar, but they went a little too far with Age of Sigmar. I think they also realized it. So I think right now it's looking pretty neat. It's looking pretty neat. I was looking at the rule sets and all that stuff. I was like, you know what? I could totally get into this if I had a friend to play with. Unfortunately, I'm a lonely, sad, pathetic piece of garbage. Knows no friends, and I just don't really have the time to play it, but I can fantasize it. I can fantasize about it. I would like explosives, please. I am willing to do heinous things for explosives. Maybe we have a clear path here. Why are there no bombs? There are no bombs. No bombs in this black market. We have been cheated. Oh, the black market shenanigans. Anyway, that's all I got for you. There's no punchline. There's no conclusion other than I have no friends and I cannot play the game that I am mildly interested in. There is no conclusion to this story other than, you know what? I could get back into this game that it was a massive part of my life for a long, long time. Like, it was like my main thing, main hobby for a long ass time. Spent hours painting those models. I would say I was pretty decent at it. I would give myself a solid 7 out of 10 on painting skills. I hated using water though, so I always just use the paints right out of the pot. I know you're not supposed to do that, but that did the job, and I was satisfied enough with that. So I didn't want to get a palette. No, it's not palette, it's palette. I didn't want to have a proper painting procedure. Just open the pot, get a dab, and just put it on top of the model. It worked. I often blended things. Instead of blending things, blending paints first and then applying them to the model, I would do the blending on top of each layer on the model. Of course, you are applying way too much painting there. It ends up not looking the way that it's supposed to, but it still look decent. So, good enough for me. That's the thing. It's like, is it good enough? That seems to be the trend with my entire life. I'm not asking, is it good? I'm asking, is it good enough? There you go. Fine stuff. What really matters, like, especially if you concentrate on like your aim is to play with these models, and it's not about let's see how beautiful I can make my army. It's more about let's have a cool looking army so I can play with it without feeling ashamed. All that matters is that you have some basic colors in there, and it will look okay in a tabletop. So, you know, it's not like you need to obsess about it. If you are kind of sort of interested in Warhammer, but you're like, I don't want to spend a billion hours painting models. You don't really have to. You still, like, you can play with the unpainted models, no problem, especially if you have an environment that is not anal retentive about playing adhering to rules and stuff like that. Especially if it's not your local shop, but just among friends. Definitely go with unpainted models. See if you like it. And just spend. The thing is about painting, it always was super intimidating in my head. Like using all this wet paint to do things. I'm gonna mess it up. I'm not good enough for it, but you start doing it, it kind of becomes, I wouldn't say addictive. It becomes really relaxing for sure, but you can't get into it. That's the way to put it. You get into it, and you realize, you know what, it's not that hard. Because it's a very incremental process. Like you start with a base coat and all that stuff, and that's super easy. It's just a little tedious. And you start doing things, little things by little things. And it's such an incremental process that you eventually arrive at something that looks pretty damn cool. Because all the framework is there. The model already looks neat. All you need to do... Oh boy. All you need to do is carry on the work. The sculpture already did the hard part of. What is with these mummies? Being accosted. Excuse me? I had whipped it out. And I got arrowed to the freaking groin. You saw my whip? It was there. It existed. It was properly deployed. I think I simply was like a pixel too close to the arrow trap, and that's why the arrow was not whipped. Oh, 42 minutes. Here I am talking about reminiscing, really, about my Warhammer days that I'm not going to bring back. But I could see myself getting back into it if I made the choice. I ain't got the time for it, though. There's just too many things. Day job, always demanding. Video games are there to be played. Recordings must be made. And of course, the massive, wonderful projects that I carry with me at all times. Writing The Space Behind Mirrors. The new book I'm writing. I even found a title for it. Do you like my title? I killed the shopkeepers. Do you guys remember that I killed shopkeepers in the resort? I sure did. Do you guys like my title of my new book? The Space Behind Mirrors. It's going to be glorious. It's very early though, so it's not gonna be out in like 3 years. But the rate at which I write, mostly all the lore is all there. I have such a bead on the lore of this book. It's something I enjoy doing the most, I think. We can't finish. Man. Why am I taking so long? What am I doing? I was like, I want this compass. And my brain was in a constant loop of how do I get it without getting the climbing gloves, without angering the man, blah, 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 constant looping. Do I have enough money? Ended up with nothing. Well, I did end up with a teleport. I should be dead now. Oh, what the? Alright, everything's fine. We found a little cubby hole. It's all good. What was I saying? I was trying to conclude the entire nonsense about Warhammer. And then I didn't get anywhere. And there you have the teleporter run. What an incredible, amazing. Oh no, and then I moved on to talking about the book, but how can I possibly start a topic and then when I'm trying to conclude the videos. It's just absolutely nonsense. I'll talk about it in the next episode, whatever the hell I'm playing. See you guys in the next one. Until then, closing statement.